Listen closely, because something has already started moving in your life, even if your eyes cannot yet confirm it. There is a clock, not made by human hands, not measured by ordinary time, and it has begun its final countdown as March comes to its end. You feel it, don't you? That subtle pressure in your chest, that restlessness that will not let you stay comfortable anymore. This is not anxiety. This is activation. You were not brought here by accident, and you did not click on this message by coincidence. The universe has been arranging moments, conversations, delays, even disappointments, all to position you here at the edge of something irreversible. These last 5 days are not ordinary days. They are a test, a refinement, a doorway that only the chosen can recognize. And if you are hearing this, then you are already inside the frequency of those who are meant to pass through it. Stay with me. And if something inside you is already stirring, if your spirit recognizes this truth before your mind can explain it, then mark this moment. I recently released a powerful audiobook titled How to Awaken the Rich Mind Within You. Not just words, but a frequency designed to shift your inner world so your outer world can finally respond. It is not priced for profit, it is priced for access. Minimal, intentional, so that those who are truly ready can step in without resistance. If you feel even the slightest pull toward expanding your mindset and unlocking what has been dormant within you, the link is waiting for you in the description and in the first pinned comment. Do not ignore what resonates, because once this begins, it does not stop. You have spent so much time wondering why you could never fully settle, why peace always seemed temporary, why every time you thought you had arrived, something shifted again. But what if I told you that discomfort was never a punishment? It was preparation. You were not designed for a life of stillness. You were designed for movement, for transformation, for expansion that others would not understand. And now, as these final days of March unfold, that design is being activated at a level you have never experienced before. This is why things may feel unstable, why emotions rise without warning, why clarity and confusion seem to dance together in your mind. It is not chaos, it is calibration. You are being tuned to a higher frequency, one that requires you to release what once felt safe. And the test is simple, but not easy. Will you cling to what is familiar, or will you trust what you cannot yet see? Because what is coming cannot enter a life that is still holding on to the past. There is something happening around you right now that you may not fully notice yet. A quiet separation. Energies are shifting. Paths are diverging. People who once felt aligned may begin to feel distant. Conversations may lose their depth. Connections may weaken without explanation. Do not panic. Do not chase. This is not loss. This is alignment. The universe is filtering your environment with precision, removing what cannot follow you into what is coming next. And yes, it may feel lonely at moments. It may feel confusing. But understand this: isolation is often the final stage before elevation. You are being pulled into a space where your clarity can sharpen, where your intuition can grow louder than the noise you once depended on. The test here is subtle. Will you try to hold on to what is already leaving, or will you honor the shift and allow space for what is destined to arrive? Because the miracle chain reaction cannot begin in a crowded room. It requires space. It requires silence. It requires you. That weight you've been carrying, that sense that something is about to break or burst or change, it is not imagined. It is pressure. Yes, but not the kind meant to crush you. It is the kind that creates transformation. Think of it as a force building within you, compressing your old identity until it can no longer hold its shape. And in these final 5 days, that pressure will intensify, not to harm you, but to reveal you. You may feel emotional waves rise unexpectedly. You may feel urges to make decisions you have been avoiding. You may feel pulled towards something new while simultaneously feeling fear of leaving the old behind. This is the test, not of your strength, but of your willingness. Will you allow the pressure to shape you, or will you resist and prolong the process? Because resistance does not stop transformation. It only delays your arrival. There are moments in life that divide everything into before and after. This is one of those moments. You are standing at a threshold, not a physical one, but a spiritual crossing that few people ever recognize while they are in it. And what makes it powerful is this: once you cross, there is no returning to who you used to be. Your perception changes, your priorities shift, your energy becomes incompatible with what once felt normal. And this is why the test feels so intense, because part of you still remembers the comfort of the old version of yourself, while another part is already reaching for what is next. You are in between identities, and the universe is watching, not to judge you, but to witness your choice. Will you step forward, even without certainty, or will you hesitate at the edge of your own becoming? Have you noticed it? The silence. Not just the absence of noise, but the kind of silence that feels alive. Messages that used to come clearly may now feel delayed. Signs that once appeared frequently may seem to pause. It may feel like nothing is happening. But this silence is not emptiness. It is integration. The universe is not withdrawing from you. It is allowing you to hear yourself more clearly. Because in these final days, your inner voice matters more than any external confirmation. The test is this: can you trust what you feel, even when there is no visible proof? Can you move forward without needing constant reassurance? Because the next level of your life requires self-trust that is unshaken by temporary uncertainty. While you are questioning, while you are feeling, while you are navigating this strange in-between state, something else is happening beyond your awareness. Pieces are moving. Doors are being prepared. Conversations you have not yet heard are already unfolding. Opportunities are aligning themselves with your future self, not your current comfort zone. And this is why you may feel a sense of anticipation without knowing why. Your spirit can sense what your eyes cannot yet see. The miracle chain reaction does not begin with visible results. It begins with unseen rearrangements. And the test is patience, not passive waiting, but active trust. Trust that what is being prepared is more precise than anything you could have forced on your own. You may be expecting a dramatic challenge, a clear obstacle, something obvious that signals this is the test. But that is not how this works. The real test is hidden in your reactions, in the way you respond to uncertainty, in the thoughts you choose to believe, in the decisions you make when no one is watching. It is not about proving your worth. You were already chosen. It is about aligning your actions with that truth. Will you act like someone who trusts their path? Or will you shrink back into doubt? Because the universe is not testing you to see if you are worthy. It is testing you to see if you are ready. And just as the energy begins to rise, just as something inside you starts to awaken with clarity, doubt will appear. Not loudly, not aggressively, but subtly. like a whisper that sounds almost like your own voice. It will ask you if you are imagining things, if you are overthinking, if you are setting yourself up for disappointment again. This is not a coincidence. This is the moment where many turn back, because doubt does not come to destroy you. It comes to test your alignment. Will you believe the version of yourself that was shaped by fear, or the one that is emerging through truth? These last days will bring moments where your faith feels fragile. But understand this: doubt is not the opposite of belief. It is the doorway to it. And the way you move through this doorway will determine everything that follows. There is something important you must understand right now. You are being observed, not by something that seeks to punish or control you, but by a force that responds to your frequency. Every thought, every reaction, every emotional shift, it sends a signal. And in these final days of March, that signal becomes amplified. This is why small moments feel bigger, why minor decisions seem heavier, because your energy is being measured, not to determine your worth, but to match you with what is next. The universe does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you are aligned with. And this is the test. Can you hold your energy steady, even when circumstances try to pull you out of alignment? Because what is coming next will not match your desires. It will match your state of being. You may begin to feel it more strongly now. That pull, that quiet but persistent sense that you are being drawn towards something you cannot yet define. It may not make logical sense. It may not fit into your current plans, but it will feel undeniable. This is not confusion. This is direction without details. And this is where many hesitate, because the mind wants certainty, but the soul moves through knowing. The test here is simple. Will you honor the pull, even if you cannot explain it to anyone else? Because the path ahead is not meant to be understood all at once. It is meant to be revealed as you move. As you approach this threshold, as the shift becomes closer, more real, more undeniable, something else will happen. The patterns you thought you had outgrown may return. Old habits, old thoughts, even old situations or people may reappear, almost as if nothing has changed. But this is not regression. This is a final opportunity, a final test of identity. The universe is asking you, are you truly who you say you are becoming, or will you fall back into who you used to be? And the answer will not come from your words. It will come from your choices. This is the moment where you prove, not to the world, but to yourself, that you have changed. There will be moments, unexpected, unplanned, where emotion rises within you with intensity you cannot ignore. You may feel overwhelmed without a clear reason. You may feel joy and heaviness within the same hour. This is not instability. This is release. Layers of your past, stored within your body, your mind, your energy, they are surfacing so they can finally leave. And the test is not to suppress them, not to analyze them endlessly, but to allow them, to feel without judgment, to release without resistance. Because what you carry, you cannot bring with you. And what you release creates space for what is meant to arrive. You have tried to control outcomes, to plan every step, to predict what comes next so you can feel safe. But now, control is slipping. Plans may change unexpectedly. Timing may feel off. Things you thought were certain may begin to shift. And this can feel unsettling. But understand this: control is not being taken from you. It is being replaced with alignment. Because what is meant for you cannot be forced into existence. It must unfold in its own time. And the test is this: can you surrender the need to control without losing your sense of direction? Because surrender is not giving up, it is stepping into trust. There will be moments in these days where you are presented with choices that feel familiar, situations that resemble your past, decisions that you have faced before. But this time, something will feel different. You will have awareness. You will see the pattern clearly. And in that moment, you will be given a choice: repeat or rise. This is where transformation becomes real, not in what you understand, but in what you do differently. And the universe will respond instantly to your choice. Because every new decision creates a new direction. And every new direction leads to a new reality. And then, subtly at first, you will begin to notice it. Small shifts, unexpected moments, things aligning in ways you did not plan, but somehow needed. This is the beginning, the first spark of the chain reaction. It may not look dramatic, it may not feel like a miracle yet, but it will carry a certain energy, a quiet confirmation that something is moving in your favor. And this is where many make a mistake. They overlook it, they dismiss it, they wait for something bigger. But this is the bigger thing in its earliest form. The test is recognition. Can you see the miracle while it is still small? And once it begins, it will not slow down. What started as subtle shifts will start to accelerate, building momentum in ways that feel almost surreal. Events will begin to connect. Conversations will carry unexpected weight. Timing will feel too precise to be coincidence. And you may find yourself asking, why is everything happening so fast now? Because this is the nature of a chain reaction. Once the first piece moves, the rest follow with increasing intensity. You are no longer in preparation. You are in motion. And the test now is different. It is no longer about waiting. It is about keeping up. Can you remain grounded while everything around you begins to shift? Can you stay aligned when the pace increases? Because acceleration reveals what stability cannot hide. There were moments in your life, quiet, desperate, honest moments, where you asked for change, where you asked for clarity, for purpose, for something more than what you were experiencing. Those moments were heard, not ignored, not forgotten, and now they are being answered. But here is the truth most are not prepared for. The answer rarely arrives in the form you expected. It comes through disruption, through redirection, through the removal of what no longer aligns. And this can feel confusing, even uncomfortable. But understand this: what is happening now is not against you. It is in response to you. The test is acceptance. Can you accept the answer even when it doesn't match your original expectation? As things begin to shift more rapidly, another emotion will rise. Fear, not of failure, but of loss. The fear of letting go of what you have known. The fear of stepping into something that has no guarantee. And this fear can be powerful. It can make you question everything. It can make you hesitate, even when you know you are moving in the right direction. But listen carefully. This fear is not a warning. It is a threshold. It appears at the exact point where transformation becomes real. And the test is courage, not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Because what you are afraid of losing is often what has already outgrown you. Something within you is changing now, not just externally, but internally. The way you perceive situations, people, even yourself, it is shifting. Things that once confused you will begin to make sense. Patterns that were hidden will become clear. You will start to see truth where you once saw illusion. And this can be both empowering and overwhelming, because clarity removes comfort. It reveals what you can no longer ignore. And the test here is honesty. Can you face what you now see without turning away? Because once you see clearly, you cannot go back to not knowing. You may notice a growing sense of detachment, not from life, but from things that once held emotional weight over you. Situations that used to trigger you may now feel distant. People who once occupied your thoughts may no longer have the same presence. And this can feel strange, even unsettling. You may question if you are becoming cold, disconnected, but this is not disconnection. This is liberation. You are no longer tied to what once controlled your energy, and the test is understanding. Can you allow this detachment without trying to recreate old emotional patterns? Because what you are releasing is making room for something deeper. Now the signs will become clearer. Numbers repeating, conversations aligning, moments that feel too precise to be random. This is synchronicity, the language of alignment, and it will begin to surround you more frequently, more noticeably, as if something is trying to get your attention. Because something is. The universe is communicating with you in ways that bypass logic and speak directly to your awareness. And the test is attention. Will you notice? Will you acknowledge? Or will you dismiss these moments as coincidence? Because the more you recognize them, the louder they become. Just before something shifts completely, resistance often peaks. You may feel tired. Doubt may return stronger. You may even feel the urge to step back, to pause, to retreat into what feels familiar. This is the final resistance, the last attempt of your old self to maintain control. And it can be convincing. It can feel like you are making a mistake, like you should slow down, like you should reconsider everything. But this is the moment that defines everything. The test is persistence. Can you continue forward even when everything within you asks you to stop? Because breakthrough does not come when it is comfortable. It comes when you move through discomfort. And then, almost suddenly, it shifts. What once felt uncertain begins to feel clear. What once felt delayed begins to move. Pieces fall into place in ways that feel almost orchestrated. And you realize, this was never random. Every delay, every challenge, every moment of doubt, it was all positioning you for this alignment. And in this moment, something within you settles. Not because everything is perfect, but because you finally understand that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The test here is trust at a deeper level. Not just trusting the process, but trusting yourself within it. There comes a moment in every transformation where return is no longer possible, and you have reached it. Even if you tried to go back, to think the same thoughts, to live the same way, something inside you would resist, because you have seen too much, you have felt too deeply, you have crossed an internal line that cannot be uncrossed. And this realization may feel both empowering and unsettling, because forward is now your only direction. The test here is acceptance. Can you fully release the idea of who you used to be without mourning it as a loss? Because it was never your final form. It was only your beginning. As your internal state stabilizes, as your alignment strengthens, something remarkable begins to happen. The world around you starts to respond differently. Opportunities appear with less resistance. People interact with you in new ways. Situations that once felt heavy begin to feel lighter. This is not coincidence. This is resonance. Your energy has shifted, and now your external reality is beginning to mirror that shift. But the test is consistency. Can you maintain this state, even when old triggers attempt to pull you back? Because alignment is not a moment. It is a practice. What you have been waiting for does not arrive with noise. It does not announce itself loudly or demand your attention. It enters quietly, subtly, almost gently. And if you are not aware, you might miss it. This could be an opportunity, a connection, an idea, something that feels simple on the surface but carries profound significance. This is how the universe delivers what is meant for you, without overwhelming you. And the test is awareness. Can you recognize the importance of something that does not appear dramatic? Because not all miracles arrive with intensity. Some arrive with precision. As this new energy integrates into your life, you may begin to feel a sense of expansion, a widening of your perspective, your capacity, your sense of self. But with expansion comes unfamiliarity. You may feel like you are stepping into a version of yourself that you do not fully recognize yet. And this can create a strange tension between confidence and uncertainty. But understand this: growth always feels unfamiliar at first, and the test is embodiment. Can you allow yourself to grow into this new version without shrinking back into what feels comfortable? Because comfort is not always alignment. There will be a moment, clear, undeniable, where everything clicks, where the signs, the shifts, the emotions, the challenges, they all make sense at once. And in that moment, you will realize something powerful. You are not imagining any of this. You are not overthinking. You are not lost. You are being guided. Every step, every feeling, every moment of doubt, it was part of a larger design. And this realization will not just bring clarity, it will bring relief, a deep, grounding understanding that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The test here is surrender at the highest level. Can you fully trust what has been revealed? Without fully realizing it, you have shifted timelines, not in a dramatic, visible way, but in a subtle, energetic transition. The version of your life that you are now stepping into is different from the one you were on before. And this is why things feel different, why your reactions are different, why your path no longer resembles what it once did. You are no longer moving toward what you used to want. You are moving toward what is aligned with who you have become. And the test is presence. Can you stay fully here, without trying to compare this new path to your old expectations? With clarity comes responsibility. Now that you see differently, now that you understand more deeply, you can no longer act unconsciously. Every choice carries weight. Every decision shapes your direction. And this is not meant to create pressure. It is meant to empower you. Because awareness gives you control in a different way. Not control over outcomes, but control over alignment. And the test is integrity. Can you act in alignment with what you know is true, even when it is difficult? Because this is what sustains transformation. As these last days of March come to their close, something begins to settle within you. The intensity softens, not because the process is over, but because you have integrated what you needed to. You are no longer in the same state of uncertainty. You are no longer questioning everything. There is a quiet confidence now, a grounded awareness that something has changed permanently. And this is the integration phase, where everything you have experienced becomes part of who you are. And the test is patience. Can you allow this integration to complete without rushing into what comes next? There are doors in life that open again and again, opportunities that circle back, lessons that repeat until they are learned. But this door, the one you have just approached through these final days of March, is not one of them. This is a threshold that appears only once in this form, at this time, in this exact alignment of who you have become. And now it stands open before you, not forcing you, not pulling you, simply waiting. The energy around it is unmistakable, a quiet gravity, a sense that everything has led to this exact point. And the test is decision, not overthinking, not delaying, but choosing. Because hesitation is the only thing that can keep you from crossing. And understand this clearly. The door does not close out of punishment. It closes because time moves forward, and so must you. You may still be looking for a moment, a signal, a dramatic shift that confirms everything. But listen carefully, the miracle chain reaction has already started. It began the moment you chose to listen. The moment you felt something resonate and decided not to ignore it. The moment you stayed, instead of turning away. Every small shift, every realization, every decision you made differently, those were the first links in the chain. And now they are building upon each other, creating momentum that cannot be undone. This is not something you wait for anymore. This is something you are inside of. The test is awareness at its highest level. Can you recognize that it is already happening, even if it does not yet look the way you expected? Take a moment now and feel the weight of everything you have been through. The confusion, the delays, the moments where you questioned everything, including yourself. None of it was wasted. None of it was random. It was all leading you here, to this awareness, to this alignment, to this exact version of yourself that is now ready to move forward. You were never behind. You were never off track. You were being prepared. And now you have arrived, not at an ending, but at a beginning that carries the energy of everything you have learned. The test is recognition. Can you truly see how far you have come without minimizing it? Something has shifted in your connection with the universe. What once felt distant now feels immediate. What once felt unclear now feels responsive. This is because you are no longer operating from uncertainty. You are operating from alignment. And when alignment is present, response becomes faster, clearer, more direct. You will begin to notice it, how quickly things reflect your state, how instantly your energy shapes your experience. And this is where everything becomes real, because now there is no separation between what you are and what you experience. The test is mastery. Can you remain aware of your energy, knowing that it is now creating your reality in real time? There was a time when what you desired felt distant, almost unrealistic, something you hoped for, but weren't sure you would ever truly experience. But now, it is closer than you realize, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because you have become the version of yourself that can receive it. And this is the truth most people never understand. What you receive is always aligned with who you are being. And now, you are aligned. The path is not something you have to chase anymore. It is something that is unfolding beneath your steps. The test is readiness. Can you allow yourself to receive what you once thought was out of reach? There is a moment, right before everything fully manifests, where things feel almost too real, where the possibility becomes undeniable. And with it, The weight of responsibility, of change, of stepping fully into a new life. And this is where many turn back, not because they are not capable, but because they are not willing to let go completely. But you are not most people. You have come too far. You have seen too much. You have felt this too deeply to walk away now. And this is the final test, not of strength, but of commitment. Will you step fully into what is unfolding, or will you hesitate at the edge of your own expansion? And now, the moment arrives, not as a single event, but as a realization, a shift in your awareness where everything becomes clear. You are no longer preparing. You are no longer waiting. You are living it. The next phase of your life has already begun, and you are standing within it. The version of you that once felt distant is now who you are becoming in real time. And as you cross this invisible line, something within you settles, not because the journey is over, but because you finally understand that you are on the right path. And the test is presence. Can you fully step into this moment without looking back? And now, as this transmission comes to its close, there is one final moment of alignment, one final signal that only you can send. Not through words alone, but through intention, through acknowledgement, through the quiet but powerful decision to say, I am ready. This is not for anyone else. This is not for validation. This is for you and for the universe that has been guiding you here all along. But understand this: readiness is not just a feeling. It is a commitment, a decision to evolve your thinking, to expand your perception, to become the version of yourself that can hold what is already moving toward you. And if you feel that call, if something within you knows that your mindset is the final key, then this is where your next step reveals itself. The audiobook, How to Awaken the Rich Mind Within You, has been placed in your path for a reason, not as information, but as activation, a deeper recalibration of how you think, receive, and align with abundance. It is not meant for everyone, only for those who recognize that their inner world must shift before their outer world fully responds. And if that is you, the link is waiting in the description and in the first pinned comment. It has been made intentionally accessible because what it offers is not measured in price, but in transformation. So now, the choice returns to you. If something within you has awakened, if you feel the truth of this in a way that cannot be explained, then mark this moment. Leave your sign below, not as a comment, but as a declaration. And stay connected, not out of habit, but out of alignment. Because this is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of everything that follows. Stay aware, stay aligned, and step forward. Because what is meant for you is already moving toward you.